A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's Sameeksha, that is the content extraction for mains from today's Hindu. What are the things that we have to study for Hindu from today, that is 28th September? Yes, today we are a bit late, but always we believe that it is better to be late than never. Right, so let me quickly enter into today's Sameeksha program about this. So this is Vishakhapatnam edition. What are the things that we have to take here for today's Samiksha? So these are the things that we are going to discuss. So let's start. Again, this is Vishakhapatnam edition. Starting with this. So the first page consists of polity and politics of India. Let EC decide Shinde's claim on real Shiva Sena. This is now Shiva Sena is claiming that Eknath Shinde doesn't have the power to take away Shiva Sena, rather it belongs to the so-called the ex-chief minister of Maharashtra, and that is Uddhav Thackeray. So, as per the rules, election symbols, reservation and allotment order of 1968, based on this, the Election Commission of India will decide who will get uh, the symbol of a particular political party. So, just remember, election symbols, reservation and allotment order is in the Election Commission jurisdiction. This is the thing. Simple, no much other things here. So, regional news. Coming to the so-called editorial, the first is about tread carefully. This is about recently the Information and Broadcasting Ministry has asked the Ministry of Home Affairs to block 45 YouTube channels, 45 videos and 10 channels in the YouTube under the so-called as they are spreading hate speech. This I have said yesterday. They are spreading hate speech. They are flaming communal tensions. They are also spreading false information about the Agnipath scheme of Government of India. Under Section 69A of IT Act, they have done this. So Section 69A of IT Act gives this. We also know that in internal security there is one more thing called Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Rules 2021, which uh, makes it mandatory for the social intermediaries or digital intermediaries such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter to channelize or to regulate their proceedings. Based on this IT Act, these were taken away. Now they are saying that now right to speech is a fundamental right. Now whenever you are taking away these things, you have to tread it very carefully in a very responsible manner. This is what it is saying. Just remember only this thing, nothing more. Silver lining, this is about India winning against Australia recently in cricket. Not much thing. Now, permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council is another story. This is something very important for political science students as well as for your GS paper too. This year, they will ask in the international relations what are the chances for India getting United Nations Security Council seat. Now, this is telling about intricacies of how India can get uh, something called uh, permanent membership. Now, this man speaks that there should be no illusion about how the states views membership in United Nations Security Council. India must realize that it is all about national interest. So this is for the national interest that we are asking this. A good article to read. Just go through this. It will enhance your comprehension skills. But in international relations, I will tell you clearly what is United Nations Security Council, what is the stake for India to get into this. Right? We'll discuss that there clearly. Now, energizing India-Nepal ties. This is one way of looking at India-Nepal as far as infrastructural component is considered. Right? India. This article speaks that India has invested in Nepal's hydroelectrical power plants, such as on the rivers Seti and Seti River West Seti and Seti River. We are constructing these dams. So this is something which is substantial in improving India-Nepal ties. Not much thing. Just remember India-Nepal. They didn't ask in general studies so far about these questions. But whenever you are writing only one thing, India and Nepal, India is investing in hydropower plants in Nepal, only one line is important from the entire thing. India is investing in hydropower plants in Nepal. So if they ask a question, you can write only this. But United Nations Security Council, that is something which is important. The lack of quality engineering education, again only one thing to take, that Indian education or engineering standards are getting down. No need to go into this in depth. Just remember, the scarcity of seats is not a problem, not the capacity constraints, but the quality is a constraint. So Indian education, particularly higher education, is suffering from its quality of service delivery. Quality is very poor. Again only one thing to remember, that is quality of service delivery. An attempt to get the Indian railways uh, back on track. This is Government of India or Ministry of Railways has been introducing various schemes to get railways back into gaining some resources for Government of India. So this is in that context. Again, no much thing to go ahead. So in the entire editorial section, just read about this. That is more than enough. United Nations Security Council. But the rest are just a remembrance of one liner. In a first statue, bench cases being live on YouTube, something which is very enlightening. The constitutional bench proceedings were given online. Now, what are the things? This increases transparency in bench administration along with RTI. Now, online presentation of this is also helping to improve transparency in administration. Only two things. Now, amid protests, AAP moves conference motion in Punjab. Not much importance from political perspective, but from prelims perspective, they can ask what is conference motion. Conference motion is a motion which is moved by the ruling party in order to ensure that they enjoys confidence in the particular house so that they will be eligible for ruling. That is the only thing. Approach to democracy and human rights is country specific, says Jaishankar in US as he was addressing his counterpart Anthony in Washington DC. This theory has come. Now, what he says is democracy and human rights is country specific. There is no uniform approach, rather, it is custom made approach. Every country sees in its own domain. So, this is something he is saying. Again, one liner, just remember this. The rest of the things you do not have much for today, right? These are the only things that we have. The most important thing is NASA spacecraft, that is asteroid collision, dark test, double asteroid redirection test. Now this is a test where the asteroid called Dimorphosis is the asteroid Dimorphosis is being reflected. This asteroid is coming towards the Earth. So what we did is we have moved this away from the Earth. So this they might ask in science and technology. Again, no need to remember from now itself. When you are writing for mains, at that point of time, if you are remembering something about this, you can manage the answer. No need to go through this again from now itself. Theory of Malthusian drop, simple thing. The economist called Malthusian in his book, Thomas Malthus, in his book, an essay on the principle of population says that whenever population is going to rise, then environment is going to have some problem and it is going to check the population rise within limits. So ప్రజలు పెరిగే కొద్దీ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ డిస్ట్రక్షన్ జరుగుతుంది. తద్వారా ప్రజలు అనేవారు most people will be washed away in this environmental disaster so that it will be rebalancing itself. This is what Thomas Malthus says. So only few things here, not much things in the present day. In today's Sameeksha, one thing is Election Commission of India itself deciding based on this order. That is the first thing. The second thing is in the editorials about why United Nations Security Council, very important thing. The third one is tread carefully whenever you are removing this. Give considerations about the so-called uh, rights of the citizens along with their right to expression. At the same time, tread more carefully if they are causing disturbance to internal security of the country. You have your powers, but powers has to be utilized in a very sparing manner. India and Nepal, just remember in one context, that is India and Nepal are having good relations in the hydroelectric power plant. Quality education, simple one liner, transparency, this one. So only these things are important for today, not much things. So this is today's Sameeksha. So tomorrow we'll take tomorrow's, right? Thanks for joining. Have a great day.